Warning, this video will give you a serious case of instant paralysis if you don't click like and subscribe right now. Viewers' discretion is advised. So firstly, I'm going to introduce the characters involved in this story. So this is me, black hair and red shirt. Next is this big dude. Let's call him Anderson. No. Let's call him Big Titty Rodney. Next is the main antagonist. Let's give him a red hair because he's very angry in this episode. I'm going to give him a fake name. I'm gonna call him Dennis with 2 N's. Next are the 3 main protagonists. Yes, there are 3 protagonists. Let us call this one Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend. And this one, let's name him Happy Father's Day. And lastly, this big musclehead is to be called Deaf Boy. So back in high school, there was this activity where we need to plant plants on the school garden. Why? So that the owners of the school can get a free garden, of course. Now that's what you call stunks. So me and my buddy Rodney came to our respective gardens. It was around dismissal hours, so there's not much students left in the school except for those who have sports practice. It was just the 2 of us in the garden, and suddenly, red-faced Dennis enters the garden and sits alone at the corner. Anderson and I looked at each other, as if he wanted to communicate with me or something, and it was already awkward enough to talk aloud because of Dennis's presence. Rodney probably said, "Hey, I think we should ask our dear friend Dennis about what's bothering him, like a good friend would do." As you expected, I cannot read thoughts. So we just ignored Dennis as he mopes around in the corner, alone, like a good friend would do. So a few seconds later, the main protagonist enters the story. Yes, the heroes has finally arrived. Maybe they had something to do with Dennis being angry. I don't know. So the 2 of them look very pathetic. But not Ultra Chad Steal Your Mother over here. No. He looks super confident. His confidence level is so high it could create a black hole. So without any hesitation, Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend stepped in first, calling out the furious Dennis. He then offered his shoulder to Dennis and gave him the opportunity to release his anger towards him, like a valiant vagina slayer Chad would do. So basically, Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend is allowing Dennis to punch him for whatever idiotic reason. I don't know. So Dennis stood up, clenching his fists, and asked Mr. Steal Your GF if he was sure with his life decisions. So, Mr. Steal Your Boyfriend nods as a sign of confirmation. I mean, a true Chad would never go back on his words. Although Mr. Steal Your GF made it perfectly clear that he was just willing to take a punch in the shoulder. Dennis doesn't want any of that shit. Dennis is like, if I get to beat up someone, I might as well enjoy it. Dennis then punches Mr. Steal Your GF countless times. In the face, mind you. Like, what did Super Chad expect? This scene was super epic, by the way, and deserves a separate video. Well, if this reaches 50 likes, that is. So me and Big Titty Rodney looked at each other again, and I completely understood what he was trying to convey. Like, really. So we just sat down and embraced the fight, like a good friend would do. Then Deaf Boy tried to intervene and save his friend, the Super Chad. For some reason, he only decided to help Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend after Dennis has already beaten the living shit out of this poor guy. Like a true friend. Hooray, Mr. Deaf Boy, you are a hero. Deaf Boy clearly wants a peace treaty, but Dennis still proceeds to beat him up as well. But Dennis realized that Deaf Boy was an absolute unit and decided to stop punching him. He then directed his attention to Happy Father's Day over here, and he pissed his pants. That, or he lost all control of his body, and his pants were suddenly filled with piss, semen, and feces. Yeah. For the moment of truth, the very main reason for their conflict was that these three jackasses took Dennis's 5 pesos, and he got angry. They decided to give it back to him in the hopes to calm him down, but you know how that turned out. Dennis here is now holding his 5 pesos in his hands, but decided that he didn't need it anymore, and for some reasons flung it towards my face with full force. It busted my lip and fuck, it was painful. So after things cooled down, me, big boy Rodney, Dennis, and along with Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend, walked home together and laughed it off like nothing happened. Moral of the story? If an angry friend comes to you for reconciliation, just leave. Like, go far away. Otherwise, he'd be throwing coins at your face. The end.